again. It's me, Kat. It's Friday, April 2nd, 2021. It's Good Friday, which to some people means absolutely nothing. It's just another day in the hood. To me, Good Friday is a significant day. It always has been, and it always will be. And the long and the short of it, to me, Good Friday, all I can think of on this day is a crown of thorns and 3 nails. Simply spoken. That means something to me, and I've always been fascinated by the magnitude of what happened that day. Although some people don't believe it, I'm sorry to tell you that it is historically impossible to unprove that it did indeed happen. There was this guy, his name was Jesus, and he did have to go up onto a cross. He got nailed onto it, and you know the story, right? Even if you're not a Christian, you know how the story goes. But I'm telling you, the story's true. But this is what I want to say. If you know me and you've been following my story, you know that I'm a Christian. You know that I believe in Jesus Christ, and you know that I'm not the best Christian in the whole world. I'm a train wreck sometimes, but I couldn't quote Bible scriptures to you. I've told everyone, this right here, this is Jesus for dummies. If I was in a competition with someone right now, I would get kicked out on the first round. Like, I don't have scriptures memorized. I have read the Bible from cover to cover. That is a true fact. Except for the last book, Revelation, I have tried to read it, and it just, to be quite honest with you, you ever hear people say, what's something that you're afraid of? I am not afraid of many things. There's just a handful of things that I'm truly, truly afraid of, and that book is one of them. It's something, I'm working on it. I do understand it, and I have studied it, and I have a really good grasp on what it is and the significance of that book, but it terrifies me, and rightfully so. It should terrify everyone. But I've digressed. Yeah, I'm not a Bible scholar. I don't go to church every day, every Sunday. I don't, here's me. I'm always cursing, and I'm like, I'm a mess. I'm a terrible Christian, and I'm also an awesome one, because this is the thing. I'm like the dumbest Christian ever. My favorite Bible verse is, you know what my favorite Bible verse is? It didn't even mean for it to be the easiest one to remember. It's John 11:35. Jesus wept. It is the shortest verse in the Bible, and it is my favorite one. And no, it's not because it was easy to remember. The reason that is the most significant verse in the Bible to me is because as I was growing up, I grew up Catholic, and I went to Catholic school until I moved to Texas. So I knew who Jesus was from a very young age. I would go to Mass with my class, and on Sundays with my family in New England. Catholicism is the, it used to be, not so much anymore, but it's a significant religion there. So there are a lot of Catholics where I'm from, and I would go to church. I made my communion. I was baptized in a Catholic church, and I sat there just like all the other kids in my class and so many other people, and I saw Jesus hang up on the cross in the sanctuary and in our schools, and I learned about who he was when I was in Catholic school, but I didn't actually meet him until I was 26 years old, I believe, 25. That's when I actually got to know him, and I had a relationship with him. And so here's the deal. I'm a terrible Christian, but I'm a faithful one, and this is all I can tell you. So this is Good Friday, and I want to read something to you guys. I have props here so that I could make sure I did this right. So where do I begin with what to say? I've played this conversation in my mind so many times. I'm certainly not claiming to know everything, because I don't. Again, I would totally lose a Bible competition like right now. They would kick me the hell out. Oh my God, I just cursed during this. See what I mean? I'm a terrible Christian. But what I do know will save your life. I know that God is able. I know that he still reigns. I know that love has found its way. No matter what it is you're going through, even if you think you're far beyond where hope can see, I know there is a hand that's reaching out for you. Because he did the same for me. I know that God is able. I know that he still reigns. It wasn't that long ago when my own world fell apart and everything inside of me said to just let go. Okay, like what? It was 590 my life has fallen apart 3 times now. Actually 4. I can't tell you how many times my life has fallen apart. Like, where do you want to start? Look at me. I am 50 wonderful years old. And yeah, there's people that have had it much worse than me. Trust me. As I'm sitting here talking to you right now, there are people whose suffering and plights in this realm are like beyond unfathomable. But I've suffered. Who hasn't? I mean, have you met me? 590 days ago, do you know what happened? My whole world fell apart. I lost my king to suicide. I mean, the love of my life, okay? Let's go back. I was raped when I was 23 years old. I had the first man that ever loved me. He died right in front of me in the middle of the street after he hit a brick wall on his motorcycle going 90 miles an hour with no helmet. That was not the best day ever. I had a daughter die in my arms. We all know that is what it is. And there's been a whole lot of other things. I've lost my mind. I lost my family. Then I found it. I mean, I've had a rocky time of it. But here's what. Have you met me? Look at me here right now. There is nothing in this world. I don't know how. I wish there was a way. People ask me sometimes, if you could have any wish, what would it be? And this is truly what it would be. I wish so bad that I had a magic wand that I could just go around and bop everyone on the head. I look around and I see this world. I see suffering and I see the heartache, and it's all around me. Everywhere you look, there's pain, there's heartache, there's suffering. It's not easy being a human being here on this earth. And I get that. I mean, it's not. It's a tough pill to swallow, life. But what I know, what I've learned through it all, I mean, there are so many times in my life, even now, it's like that whole Jesus wept thing. That's what I was going to say a minute ago. When I first met God, and when I first learned who Jesus was, I didn't really get the whole thing. And there was I was seeing God and I was seeing Jesus through the eyes of human men and human people. And I couldn't quite understand. Like, to me, it was just God, and he was this. I believed in God. I've always believed in God. That's just how I've always been. But when I looked at him and when I saw him on the cross, I just thought, well, like, that's God. And to me, a God was something or some entity that was beyond conception and so like far out of my reach and so far out of my grasp that like it was scary and alarming. And short of that, you know, between being raised as a Catholic and then starting to hear little bits and pieces about Jesus, let me tell you something. I'm holding something in my lap right now. You see this sweater? Let me show you. This is one of my favorite possessions, and I am holding it for comfort. That's how I am. I'm a very sentimental person. It's going to see backwards. This says M. Reyes. This is my grandma's sweater. My grandma Mary, I've tried to share this before, and I've written about this before. She's the first person. She was the first person who introduced me to Jesus, like the real Jesus. That was the first breadcrumbs that I ever had to who this man was and what he was going to mean to me in my life was my grandma. There's a whole lot more to it, and I don't even know how I could put it all into words because it's very complicated, but not really. My grandma explained Jesus to me She explained grace to me. She explained unconditional love to me. And she explained to me at a very young age that if I had a relationship with Jesus, that nothing else and no one else was ever going to matter, and that I was going to win and end this life victoriously, no matter what had happened, no matter what I'd been through, no matter what had been taken away from me or given to me, no matter who comes and goes, that if I had this Jesus person in my heart, that I was going to be okay. Now, when I was younger, I guess, those were breadcrumbs that were dropping. It wasn't until many, many, many years later that it all came full circle for me. So that being said, I do know what I know, and I do understand that for some people, God just seems like too much of everything. There's a lot of people that do believe in God. They believe in a higher power. They believe in something other than here, but they're afraid of it, and they're afraid of him, and they're afraid to get to know him, and they're scared because it's scary. I mean, it's like standing in front of a God, like what? But when I ever read that verse in the Bible, Jesus wept, it really, really hit me, because I remember thinking to myself, man, human beings weep. Gods don't weep. Do gods weep? Does God cry? And then, lo and behold, here I am all these years later. I'm 51. I've been to hell and back, but I am the happiest person I know I've ever met. I am totally fucked up sometimes. I am totally crazy sometimes, but I have 150% blind faith in what I believe. And I can't explain it to you. It bursts out of my heart sometimes. There are so many times, I've told you guys before, there are so many times in my life, especially now. I cannot tell you how many times in the last 590 days, since my whole world really, really, really did fall apart, that I have fallen to my knees in many different places, because I become so overwhelmed with the fact that I have all this joy in my heart. I have peace, I have joy, I have love. I am a frigging miracle. And sometimes I can't believe, sometimes I pinch myself, because I'm like, what the hell? Like, how is it possible? How is it possible? Knowing what I know about me, and knowing where I've been, and seeing in my mind and in my eyes the things that I have seen, I see it all. Every trauma, every bruise, every cut, every scrape, every drop of blood, every single, all of it, it's all in here. And it doesn't hurt me anymore. I mean, do I get sad? Yeah. Do I enjoy talking about my loved ones passing away? No, I don't. But it's a fact, they're gone. But death, to me, I mean, I can't even believe this. Some people don't believe it. But I'm here to tell you right now, the place that I have come, I wish for all of you. Death is terrible. Loss is terrible. Pain is terrible. Suffering is terrible. But what I am telling you right now, if you could just find a way, reach out. Faith is everything. And by the way, if you don't believe in Jesus Christ or God, that's my faith. Find a faith. Find a faith in something or someone other and higher than yourself. I believe, and I could be wrong, I believe that at the end of the day, the higher power, the higher calling, that pull to this cosmos that is within every one of us, sometimes they're all by different names. I believe it's all the same being. And again, I've said this. I call that being God and Jesus and the Holy Spirit. That's the Trinity. But I don't know. Find a faith. Find something else to believe in, because at the end of the day, this is what's going to happen. If you can find a way to just get comfortable, start a conversation, talk to your higher power, talk to them just like they're. I talk to Jesus, I talk to God, I talk to them all the time, just like I talk to my child. I have conversations with my kids. I have conversations with my Father. I have conversations with my Father in heaven, just as though he was sitting next to me. I can't see him. I can feel him. Let me tell you something. I feel when my Father is sitting next to me. I can feel his presence I can feel it. There are moments in my life when I literally feel him inside of my heart. And I know that sounds crazy, but I feel it. And I'm not crazy. Maybe I am, but it's a physical manifestation. I felt it. But just because I can't see the guy, I talk to him. I have conversations. I laugh with him. Sometimes I get mad at him. Sometimes I'm always apologizing. Like, as soon as I hang up from here, I'm going to be like, God, I'm so sorry. That was giving some props to you. And then I said, fuck and hell and some other bad words in the meantime. But we're good. He knows. He made me. He knew I was going to say all that stuff before I said it. And I'm going to be okay. I love every one of you. And I wish every one of you a beautiful Good Friday. I just want you to know that I do believe in 3 nails, a crown of thorns, and a cross. I do believe that death was conquered on a cross with 3 nails and a crown. And no one's ever going to take that away from me, no matter what anybody does, says. Let me tell you something. I have lost so much on this earth. I still have 2 children here and some people that I love dearly that, I don't know. I don't know what's going to happen. I don't know what's coming next. But I will tell you this. I kind of call it like a 3 strikes and you're in kind of thing. You ever heard of 3 strikes and you're out? I've had 3 major tragedies in my life. 3 major death tragedies in my life that I didn't see coming, that should have leveled me by now. But here I am. Here I am. I'm the happiest person I've ever met. I am filled with light and love and hope and blind faith in the guy that got nailed to a cross today. And that's saying something. So 3 strikes. I'm in. I know what I know. I wish you all well. I wish you all love. And I can't say it enough. Find a faith. And by the way, Jesus isn't that scary. He's a really cool guy. I'm telling you the truth. He's like my best friend. I know that sounds dumb, but it's true. Jesus is my best friend. I can't believe that I'm finally saying it out loud. It's not Walter that's my best friend. It's not me that's my best friend. It's not my husband that was my best friend. It's Jesus. And I cannot say it enough. So that's it. I'm going to go pick up my daughter right now. We're going to have a really nice afternoon. And I love all of you. Make it a really good Friday, because this is a good Friday. This Friday is good. This Friday is good. Because a couple days from now, we have a win. Winner, winner. Easter dinner. Bye, everyone. It's me, Kat.